Welcome to Exposed Minds, How Neurosomatics Change My Life, the space where the seen and the unseen collide. I'm your host, Anthony, and here we won't just talk about mindset, we'll go deeper into the body, into the breath, into the subconscious patterns that shape your reality. This space invites you to your conscious evolution, one breath and one breakthrough at a time. We'll explore breathwork, meditation, self-awareness, so that you understand where your true power begins. Not in the politics, not in the big corporations, not in the employers, but in your nervous system, your soul, and your spirit. My personal awakening through neurosomatics has taken me through chronic pain, emotional roller coaster rides, and an unraveling, as well as broken relationships. But it led me to a deeper inner space, peace, embodiment, confidence, and a love that I never thought possible for myself, my body, and my life. That's healing. That's awakening. That's an exposed mind. So if you've ever felt like there's something more to your life, something more to your body, and something more to your spirit, you're right. If you have a question, drop it in fan mail in the show description. Let's uncover the truth and let's expose the mind. Hello. Welcome to episode 126. This is all about awakening, abundance, and alignment. Awakening is that inner shift, understanding your truth, becoming conscious, and also digging a little bit into the unconscious mind, figuring out what your old habits are, your old behaviors, your old actions and reactions, and abundance. That is your wealth, your health, your finances, your freedom, your flow, getting rid of the stress and understanding that there is no need to fear. A good question to ask yourself is, when you're making a decision, is this coming from a place of fear or is this coming from a place of love? Like, I really want to go out with this person. Is that coming from fear or is that coming from love? I really want this person to call me or text me. Is that coming from a place of fear or a place of love? And finally, alignment. So we got the 3 A's today: awakening, abundance, alignment. Alignment is everything clicking into place. Kind of becoming one. Becoming one with who you are, becoming one with what you want, understanding yourself, understanding which route you want to take, which direction you want to go in, why. You may say, I want to be married. You may say, I want to stay single. You may say, I want to go back to school, which I guess at this point would not be the thing that most people are doing. But hey, you do you. You may be saying, I want to start a family. You may be saying, I want to change careers. You may be saying, I want to exercise or get in shape or lose weight. Maybe you want to do something simple like build a little bit of muscle, change your hair color, move to a different neighborhood. Whatever it is, if you're in alignment, you will start to do things that feel good. They just feel right in your body. It's kind of like you make a decision because your mind, your body, and your spirit are all in agreement. They all feel warm and fuzzy and cozy, like, yes, let's do this. That's alignment. It's kind of like this peaceful inner knowing that all is well or all is right. That could be a breakup. That could be a divorce. That could also be a new relationship, a new commitment, a marriage, or having children and starting a family. But the alignment part of it is you just kind of know. And your knowing is coming from a place of love, not from a place of fear. There are plenty of us out there that have made decisions based on fear, and those decisions were not good for us, right? Sometimes we decide to get married. Sometimes we decide to go on a date with someone. Sometimes we decide to start a family or have children. Sometimes we decide to move across the country or move back from across the country. Move in with our parents. Move in with our family. Whatever it is, we kind of have this knowing, we have this feeling, we have this sense. This is a good thing. This is not a good thing. And being in alignment is understanding that feeling and knowing when it's good and following it, knowing when it's not good and not following it, and being okay with that. And if it's not 100% what you wanted or needed in that moment, that's okay. You have the opportunity to change your decision and go in another direction. So it's 2025, right? At least at the time of this recording, we are in 2025, and it's a great period for all three of these: awakening, abundance, and alignment. A lot of people are experiencing anxiety, stress, kind of like confusion, a little bit of a pull in another direction. And I'm going to go back to relationships and jobs and careers and fitness, because you may be being pulled from your job to another job. You may be being pulled or called from your relationship to another relationship, or maybe just to be single for a year, maybe 2 years. Maybe you're being called to fix some old childhood wounds of abandonment, or being avoidant, or shutting down. Maybe you're being called to just get yourself on track emotionally so that you don't overreact, so that you're not angry, so that you're not always lonely, so that you're not always sad or crying. But that's kind of what's happening on the planet. We need this planetary shift in order to pull everyone towards an awakening, towards the light, towards the love, and towards the good. If you notice watching the news, and I hope you don't, I certainly don't, but I still know what's going on in the world, because it's like, no matter what you do, you always see something, a flash on the screen, a flash on your phone, a friend brings up a topic, you overhear a conversation. This is going on, that's going on, there's a fight, there's a war, there's a robbery, there's something political. There's all this stuff going on. And when you start to awaken, you start to get an alignment, and you start to understand abundance, you realize that all of those things are separate from you. None of them affect you. None of them pertain to you. And the only reason they do is because we allow them. I used to allow them. Now I don't watch the news. I don't watch politics. I don't need to. Politicians have never helped me. And politicians will not help me. And I've had people that say, why didn't you vote for this person? Or did you vote for that person? Or was it a mistake to vote for this person? And my life does not rely on someone running a government that I can't trust. My life does not rely on even doctors at this point who have not really been able to cure. And when I say cure, I mean end, stop at the root, anything that's been wrong with me, really. Most of it's either we can't find anything, but here, this pill will help you, or it's something that I was completely able to get over on my own. So what is the medical system doing for us? Is it making us well, or is it keeping us sick? So when you start to look at the world and you look at everything globally, and then you separate yourself from all the crap that's going on, and you make yourself kind of this little separate individual that's in a bubble of light that's awakened, abundant, and in alignment, you start to live from a place of love versus a place of fear. And when you think from love, relationships go better, careers go better, finances go better, life and health and wealth all go better. The anxiety, the stress, the anger, the fear, the resentment, the hate, the wounds from childhood, all kind of just slowly dry up and fall away. Personally, I've lost friends. I don't hang out with certain family members. I just don't do certain things now because they don't feel the same as they did 5 or 10 years ago. The same people don't feel the same as they did 5 or 10 years ago. And the things that I did don't feel the same. So I do different things. I hang out with different people. Those people are what I would consider more in alignment with me and with awakening and abundance. So the more you get into that position, the more you think and feel that way, the more you will attract other people that think and feel the same way. And then it starts to resonate with you. You start to feel like, hey, this really is a thing. This is not just me. This is not just some dude on a podcast telling me that life can be this way when I really don't believe it. Because now you have other people that you can talk to, resonate with. And not only that, when you start to live in alignment and awaken and think from abundance and think from love, you start to see some pretty significant changes in your life that are your own personal evidence. You find good people. You find people that you want to date. You find jobs or careers that you want to go into. You feel like that thing that you've been thinking about, you're finally ready to do it, and it actually works out for you. Maybe you've been thinking about being a real estate agent for the last 8 years. And now you feel like, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So you jump into it. And it works. That's all because you're in alignment. It's all because you're feeling, you're sensing, and you're knowing, versus living from fear. I don't want to break up with this person because then I'll be lonely. Or I don't want to break up with this person because then they'll be lonely. That's like the people pleaser in us, not wanting to leave someone else alone, not wanting ourselves to be alone, doing everything we can for that person to keep them around, even if they're not really that good for us, right? So when we're in alignment, we're awakened, and we're thinking from love, we don't do those types of things. We don't even want to do those types of things. We have this feeling of energy that does not match up, does not line up. So for some people, it's very scary, shall I say? It's kind of like a feeling of uneasiness. What am I doing? Where am I going? What is happening to me? And that's kind of the pull. That's the calling. That's the, hey, come over this way. And that might sound a little creepy, but does, hey, come over this way sound like something you've been thinking about for the last few years? Or is it just totally out of the blue? I feel like odds are most of the people listening are going to say, I've kind of been feeling like I need to do or I want to do. And that's your clue. Because then when you hear that voice or you feel that little pull or you start to see or feel synchronicities, like we'll go back to the same example of maybe you've been thinking about being a real estate agent. Maybe now someone actually calls you and says, hey, I know you were interested in this real estate thing a few years back. I have an opening doing this, or I have a training class doing this, or I need someone to fill in for this. Then you get an opportunity to either learn or practice or do it for a short period of time to see if you actually like it. And that's what we would consider a synchronicity. A synchronicity because you are now in alignment, you are now awakening, and you are now thinking from a space of love. I love what I feel. I love the idea of. So whatever it is, you have to just say to yourself, do I love what I'm thinking or feeling, or am I afraid? Am I afraid I might lose my job? Am I afraid I won't go on a second date? Am I afraid they might break up with me? It's very easy to look at both of those and say, oh, this is fear. I'm afraid. Or this is love. I love the way I feel about this person or this situation or this decision. And that's a pretty simple process. Just 3 little words and 2 little steps. Awakening, abundance, alignment, and is what I'm thinking and feeling coming from a place of fear or from a place of love? If you would like to get more involved in these types of talks, you can certainly join us on meetup.com. We meet once a month. People that are thinking about consciousness and awareness and awakening and abundance and alignment and how to do this together with other people, meeting sometimes on Zoom, sometimes in person, but it is the Conscious Creators Connection on Meetup. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, or if you have questions about it, drop a question in fan mail at the bottom in the show description, and I'll be sure to answer your question in an upcoming episode. Thanks for listening, and happy awakening. Well, that's our episode for today. If something in you stirred, let it. These moments of awareness, release, and remembrance are how healing begins. You weren't meant to fit inside some box or some system and be silenced. You are meant to remember and wake up to your own personal greatness. So breathe, reflect, and let those insights land. I know you have questions, so send them into the show via fan mail. That's located in the show description. You'll receive a free copy of my Global Awakening Guide, and for your question, it will be answered on an upcoming episode. If you're called to keep walking this path with us, please subscribe, please like, and share the episode with someone else that might be interested. Until then, stay curious, stay open, and keep exposing the mind.